Hey, so I want to talk a little bit about getting over a toxic work environment because I have a client, we just had a catch-up call yesterday, and we were discussing her experience with a toxic environment, going through burnout, depression. Basically, the whole ordeal lasted her 3 years of her life, and now she feels like she's finally getting back to being herself again. And I told her, I really want to share some of what you're sharing with me because I see so many people going through similar types of experiences, and there's this massive overlap between toxic work environments, mental health, and I'm obviously not a psychologist or a mental health professional. All I can do is talk about my own experiences, my clients' experiences with their mental health and how that relates to their work environments and things like that. And just share some of those experiences and some of those lessons learned, because so many people are experiencing issues with their work environment, and it's severely affecting their mental health and their life. And I was just so happy to speak to this person. Hopefully I can introduce you sometime soon, but she was just seeing the light at the end of the tunnel and seeing that, okay, there's hope again. I'm feeling like myself again, because it's all well and good to talk about career change and go for your dreams and this and that. But when you're in this state of recovery from a toxic work environment, it can be really hard to focus on those things. And like she was saying, she couldn't even allow herself to want anything. Like, she didn't have the sense of deserving that you need if you're going to be able to accomplish your dreams. She didn't have that ability to dream. Like, everything just felt like it just wasn't achievable. It wasn't accessible. It wasn't, you almost lose that, you lose that hope, you lose that will, you lose those desires. And it's a really difficult place to be, because of course you can't just say to someone, oh, just get over it, just be happy, go for a walk, all those things that people with depression are often told. And of course it's not that easy. Otherwise, if it were that easy, we'd all be happy all the time. So a couple of things that she shared, which I thought were really interesting, because I asked her, what was that turning point where you felt yourself seeing the light again and getting back on track? And she said there were 3 things that she did. Obviously, none of them were automatic, but maybe it'll help someone. And let me know down below, have you experienced some kind of a toxic work environment? What did that do to your mental health? Because this is another point I wanted to mention. It's that I think that there's a bit too much emphasis on your own personal mental health tools and this great word resilience, right? Like, it's amazing to be resilient. We all need to be so resilient. Yes, of course, we need to try to be resilient, but you also just need to be in a healthy environment. Like, life is not about putting yourself into the most difficult environments ever and proving how resilient you are all the time and how much hard stuff you can always constantly get through. At a certain point, it's just about having an environment that you love and getting into the right place and not just trying to prove that you're resilient all the time. And so, sometimes it's not about doing more meditation, doing more yoga, going for more walks. Like, those are all amazing things, but sometimes it's truly the environment that you're in, the toxic boss, the toxic work, the fact that you're doing work that's way under your level, the fact you're undervalued, like those key factors that are really the ones affecting your mental health, and not the lack of yoga or not enough meditation minutes or anything like that. So the 3 things that she shared with me, number 1 was space and time. So it did take her 3 years to start seeing that light at the end of the tunnel. I've seen different time periods for different people. I mean, I've been in toxic work environments, and I would say my recovery was much faster, but that's for a number of reasons. Number 1, I was in those toxic environments a relatively short time, so it didn't take as long to get over it. There are all kinds of other factors, right? Depends on, many things going on in your personal life, childhood, all kinds of different things. And unfortunately, it can take time to recover. And so the point we were discussing was that there are some people who never recover, where it can take them 10 years, 15 years. So why do some people take this really long time to recover, and why for some people can it happen pretty quickly? So there are obviously multiple factors here, but one of the big keys is the intention to get to a better place. Because I've noticed some people aren't yet even at the stage of having the intention. Like they're still bitter, they're still going through that loop of how could they do this to me? You know, I've been wronged and I was treated unfairly, and they're so bitter, so resentful. It's almost like until you are willing to start letting go of all of that anger and resentment, etc., and until you have that intention for yourself to be where you want to be again, and that the intention to recover, then you can actually stay stuck in that loop for a really, really, really long time, and it'll take even longer than it would have taken. So that's the first thing, is really time and space. And again, it's another reminder that if you are in a toxic work environment, don't wait. Don't wait around thinking, okay, you know, but I can still handle this a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer. Next thing you know, you've been there like 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, who knows how long, and then your recovery period will also be, or could potentially be longer. So the first one is space, you know, getting yourself out of that environment and creating space for yourself. The second one, which was kind of a surprise to me, was her dog. So she said her dog really helped her recovery. And I know I have seen studies where they say that pets, because of the unconditional love they sort of offer, can be really great for mental health. But I think you know, for her dog, she said, was really, really helpful. But we discussed it a bit further, and we realized it's really about love. So that can come from anywhere in your life. It can be your kids, your family members. It can be your pet if you have one. It can be volunteer work you do where you're helping people and you're offering your own love as well. But to really make sure you start surrounding yourself with love. And I believe one of the reasons this antidote, if you can call it, that works so well is because when you're in a toxic work environment, there tends to be a lot of resentment, bitterness, anger, and the emotion of love is a really great antidote for that. And so you really need to think about moving away from that resentment and into love, because love is more expansive. You can start focusing on, what do you love to do? Who do you love to serve? You know, who are those people out there you want to be in touch with? And that's how you can get yourself into also a new career and into work that you really love. And of course, nobody wants to hire anyone who has this bitter, resentful energy. So that can really, really, really hold you back from your next step if you haven't yet been able to let that go. And then the third thing she discussed were boundaries. So just getting really clear based on those experiences, really clear on what her boundaries are, and starting to express those boundaries in a kind way. Sometimes it's with friends, family, and then of course in the workplace as well. Starting to get clear on, what will I do? What will I not do? What are my non-negotiables, right? Realizing like, I am going to do my exercise every day over lunch break. I don't care if they're important meetings. I don't care if it's a busy day. I'm always going to be doing my walk, or I'm always going to be doing whatever it is. I'm going to get my 8 hours sleep every night. That's a boundary for me. I'm not going to work super late like I've been working in the past. It's my non-negotiable, right? And you know what your non-negotiables should be, how you function best, and starting to express those non-negotiables and those boundaries. So I wanted to share with you these 3 things that she shared, which helped her in her recovery. It's amazing to see someone when they go from the before state of burnout, depression due to toxic work environments, and then see them get themselves to the next version of themselves where they're really ready to go for their dreams. And since so many people, really, really, really sad to say, are suffering from these types of work environments, I think the more we can share these experiences and show everyone that you are not alone and other people are going through this as well, and especially that it doesn't have to be that way. You know, not all work environments are toxic. It's not healthy. It should not be normalized as it often is. It's not always about just being more resilient and working harder and this and that. No. It's really about making sure that you're setting yourself up to win, and that starts by being giving yourself your own tools that you need, but also getting yourself into the right environment. So if you have had any experience with a toxic environment, please share below something about your story, any tips you have, whatever it is you're struggling with, because I really do believe it will help other people as well. So that was today's video, and looking forward to seeing what you have to say in the comments. And if you need any help, if you're going through anything like this, then feel free to reach out as well. Happy to chat about it. Okay, bye.